Nah. So today we're gonna do a mukbang. Yesterday, or I don't know when you guys see these, but the other day I made some fried rice and some chicken katsu, but I actually didn't end up eating it because me and my friend went out to eat for Easter instead. So I'm actually gonna eat that today. Here it is. I can probably add a clip or some photos right here. But yeah, so this chicken katsu, I made it right here. Normally what I do is I make a, normally I make some fried rice, but then this time I mixed a light and dark soy sauce. I don't know if anyone really knows the difference in that, but I mixed those two, added some sesame oil, and added bacon for my oil, so the bacon fat for oil instead of regular oil. But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And then for the katsu, I used flour, breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, and 2 eggs to make the batter, dipped in bread. Then after that, I as my wet ingredient, then I breaded it with panko and just deep fried that. I think 7 minutes on one side, 3 minutes on the other. But yeah, so this is what you have, and then I actually made my own sweet and sour sauce. Normally I would use a katsu sauce that I would make with soy sauce, but I've been experimenting with new sauces and sweet and sour. I was like, yeah, I could just use this. So let's dig in. I feel like the food should be in frame, so I'll hold it. Hopefully I don't drop it. That'd be so funny. I've actually tried making a mukbang in my new place, and I actually ended up dropping it because I was holding it like this, and my computer doesn't, my desk doesn't have enough space, so I actually ended up dropping all the food. So I actually thought that was so funny. So after that, I just stopped making food eating videos. But now that I'm cooking all that stuff, I should try doing it again, right? I'm just adjusting everything. But yeah, so ever since I moved out here, I've been enjoying cooking a lot more. Man, this chicken is pretty good. So I use chicken breasts, not chicken thighs. My roommate really likes chicken thighs because they have a higher fat concentration, but I use chicken breast because for the size, I think it's more filling. Also the fact that it's less fat makes it a leaner type of protein. So I don't feel as guilty when I bread it or deep fry it. But typically I bake my chicken breast for, bake it at 375 for 25 minutes with salt, pepper, and oil. That's usually it. It retains a lot of its moisture and it's actually pretty juicy. And I actually overall really like it compared to, you know, pan frying or grilling it. One second, I'm gonna open the blinds. That's better, I think. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, but yeah, so eating. The issue you run into when eating chicken or making chicken breast is cooking it too long where it becomes dry. But I think the temperature I cooked this one, because it's deep frying, I'm not really good at gauging it yet. For next day, still moist, still has its texture. It's not rubber, it's not really fibery, but really good. And then for my fried rice, I only recently started using sesame oil and mixing dark and light soy sauce. I think this is, every single time I make fried rice, it's completely different. And honestly, every time I'm in the kitchen, I'm just winging it. Not I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I have this basic foundation, and I'm just trying to cook using that foundation. So I never really make the same thing twice, or at least when I make the same thing, it has a different taste or a different texture or a different cooking technique. I don't know how to say it, but it's different every single time, even if it's the same thing. But fried rice is actually super simple to make. But yeah, I think the bacon fat actually really makes this fried rice, makes it a lot lighter, and yeah, like, dang. I'm definitely taking more time in my cooking process. So like my prep time's pretty long in general. Like every time I'm about to cook something, it takes me 1 to 2 hours to cook. And then by the time I'm like ready to eat, I'm not even hungry anymore. Like even right now, I'm not necessarily hungry, but it's like 6:30. So I should be eating, and I only ate like once today. Just because yesterday we ate really like a hefty meal. So I guess like waking up, and I'm not using that much energy too. Like I did work out, but there's just like not enough energy I'm using where I need to eat. So yeah, just today I wasn't that hungry. It doesn't mean I can't enjoy this meal, you know? This is good. I'm like, so no matter what I cook, whether I like mess up or ends up being really good, I enjoy my meal just because I enjoyed the process and I know like the time it took to make. But today, dang, like the fact that like this is something, if I ate this yesterday, I can only imagine how good it was. But today, okay, listen to this. I don't know if you can hear that. But you hear that juice from the chicken mixed with the sauce right there. Oh. Mmm. Yeah, ever since I moved out here, something about, like, I've been cooking ever since I was in 4th grade, but not like serious. I was just like cooking here and there, and I think I like, so funny story. I think this one's like the funniest. Everyone asked me like how I got into cooking, and it was actually anime. Like I watched this like one cooking anime. I don't remember what it was, but I remember watching it, and I'm like, hey, that's actually kind of cool. And if you watch a lot of anime, you actually realize like there's a lot of like male figure characters that just stay home and cook, and I'm like, I think that'd be really cool to learn how to cook. And I naturally, I guess like I'm not like manly, or like I don't do like a lot of manly stuff. Like I don't like building stuff. I don't like cars. I don't really like necessarily getting my hands dirty. Doesn't mean I won't, but just like the fact that cooking, like I leaned into like more like the arts, cooking, the traditional like housewife stuff, and I enjoy doing that stuff more than I ever did engineering, sports. I don't know. Yeah, I just never really like cared for those things. Yeah, so, and then there's the I got into cooking because I wanted to impress girls. There's definitely knowing how to cook, so one day like my future wife or girlfriend or whatever is impressed. There's definitely that. But yeah, ever since like moving out here, now that I like live alone, right, like I have to cook or else I don't have any food, and it's just been a really fun process. And I don't know, like something like in my head started clicking when I moved out here and I started cooking, and I'm like, dang, I just really enjoy this. Like as much as like I enjoy photography, taking photos, capturing portraits, seeing all these memories and all that stuff, or doing video, something about like cooking where the fact that not knowing how to do something like makes me like intrigued, and going into the kitchen I can mess around. There is like a science to it, there's an art to it, there's skill to it, you know? And coming out and like making a dish that I enjoy, or like one day whoever I serve like my food to, they can enjoy it. I think that's really cool. And yeah, that's one reason I enjoy cooking, man. I figure out, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Like this is good. Like, my biggest thing is I want to create a dish that someone tries and they ask me to make it again. You know? It's like when your mom has like this one dish that she makes really good, right? Well, not your mom, but like my mom, or like when, you know? Like, when I'm craving pho, and I'm not craving it from the store, from the restaurant, you know, like I'm craving my mom's style of making pho, you know? And I want to create a dish like that where I'm like, I can go home and say, hey mom, can you make this? I want someone to like say like, hey Hoa, can you make this? You know, like just because that dish was like so good, it makes them feel a certain way. I want to, like food, I believe food can unite anyone, you know? See, like, you can say you don't like food, but there's something that you enjoy that someone else, like, that if you found out someone else enjoyed, you're gonna have this connection, right? Versus photography. Some people just aren't into photography, and then maybe it doesn't, like, it's harder to connect with everyone on artistic stuff, right? Because everyone has like their own taste, their own preferences, their style. Versus like food, if you can make good food, you make good food. Like, and I eat a lot. I go out to eat a lot. If you see my Instagram stories, I don't mean to eat out a lot. Normally, back in Utah, I never ate out a lot just because I was always home. My mom always cooked. I just ate what we had at home. And at the same time, I was really stressed and in bad situations back in Utah that I actually only ate like every 3 days up until, for like all of high school. And up until like I graduated, when I like tried to get my act together, I was only eating like 3 meals, but it was like super simple just to get my caloric intake in. But now, like, but back when I was younger, I loved food. I was actually really chubby. And then now that like I know like this health and fitness foundation where I'm like, oh, I need to eat this much. If I'm using this much energy, eat this much. If I'm not, then don't eat as much. Blah 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 blah. But I live alone, so if I need and then portioning it out, right? So if I need to make a meal and portion out for a week, I can, or a few days. I don't know if I could portion this out for a week. I'd be starving. But yeah, like, food bonds people. I really believe that. Any culture, any race, any ethnicity, food bonds people. And then even if you're like vegan or have like a certain dietary preference, or there's like a rice grain in my throat right here, so I can't like cough out. Like, no matter your preferences, you have a certain thing you enjoy eating, you know? And then if you can find someone that enjoys that, it's just an amazing experience. And like being able to sit down and talk to someone, having a meal, sharing a meal, it's just a bonding experience you can't really replicate. Dang. If you ever want to let me cook for you, hit me up, DM me, fall in love with me. I'll cook for you every day. But hopefully one day in the future I actually get to do something with food, whether it's like traveling the world to eat food, or making food, or starting my own restaurant, going to school for it. I don't know. There's just so many possibilities. And the fact that every dang, I'm gonna die. Oh. I also think it's like the tiny panko crumbs that like I'm breathing in. Normally I don't talk when I eat, so it's like my body's doing more work. But yeah, man, if you want to see me do more mukbangs or cook, let me know, because this is something I enjoy doing. Sorry if I'm a messy eater. Like, I'm just sitting in my room comfortable, you know what I'm saying? I don't normally eat in my room either. I don't like eating in my room, but since my camera and everything is in here, whatever. Man. Hey, now I give this, my grading skills are pretty rough, but I think an A would have to be like $4 sign type restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Like in the 1,000 range where you have to have a reservation. A B would be like high 90s or like high 10s, low hundreds. This is definitely like a solid C meal, you know, like I'd pay like 20 bucks for this. That's my level of cooking right now. It's like that $10 to $20 range. That's my cooking. I gotta eat fast or my camera's about to die. Oh. Just kidding. I'll enjoy it. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed watching me eat and talk. Let me know if you want me to do more of these, or if you just want me to eat and not talk, or just cook and not eat, you know? But thanks for watching. Like always, you can like, comment, subscribe if you really want. You don't have to. All optional. Life is optional. Duh. You can, in life, you can choose whatever you want to do. Alright, I'll see you next time.